while I'm at the shad flying tutorial table right now, let's knock out a shad jig. These are tied on one 32-ounce jig heads. I buy these en masse on eBay for about $4 each. 100 132-ounce jig heads. And what you've got to do is smash down that little piece right there with a pair of pliers. That enables you to wrap the body. Now, these are ideal for fishing out of boats on the Potomac River because you want to get these down. These are great with a sink tip, full sinking line, or just a straight up floating line. It's a basic pattern. The tail is just going to be made out of polar flash. I'm going to be using gold. And again, and notice I got these, they're $1 each at the fly fishing show in Somerset, so I loaded up. I've already cut the plastic to have a predetermined amount sticking out for my efficiency in tying. The body is going to be simple. I'm going to be using Estaz Glisten Gloss. This is a nice thin material. It doesn't add too bulky of a body. And the two sort of standard favorite colors for shad, of course, are pink and gold. So I'm combining them both into this pattern. Let's put the hook in the vise. Of course, I'm using a Regal vise because it should not move once you put it in there. My thread, I'm just using a Uni 6/0 orange. I'm going to start my thread. Don't put too much time or effort into these. If you're fishing from shore, the rocks are going to eat them up. My clients are going to lose them. I'm going to cut that thread. I'm going to cut that flash. I'm going to lay it down right over a couple wraps, and then I'm just going to bend this back and tie that down. There you have the tail. And I'm going to take my pink Estaz, and I'm just going to tie that down. Remember I said you've got that little nub there, so you got to watch out when you're wrapping over that. Wrap your thread up and simply just wrap the Estaz forward. Nothing fancy here. They're shad flies. Shad are biting out of aggression. They're trying to have sex. You're putting something in front of them that's either pissing them off or they think is trying to eat their baby's eggs. They're biting out of aggression. If you want more on that, of course, I recorded a podcast on the subject. It's on iTunes. And I was writing notes for a podcast last night in the dark, which is why I've got blue Sharpie on my thumb. I was using the street lights outside so I wouldn't wake up my wife. All right, there you have just a basic shad dart or shad jig. If you wanted to, you could, of course, paint the head, but they bite it, and it's going to chip anyway when you hit the rocks. That is a basic Snowhite shad jig. These flies are developed over about 2.5 decades of shad fishing. I know they work. They're not too fancy. They don't have to be. For more of these, look through my YouTube page.